Hey, Therapy Army, let's be having you, Therapy Army. Hey, let's be having you. get Rasmus Hojlund done dusted. Steffi Griffin, there we go. Big up to everybody. Big up Ari and Rashid. Big up Nuruddin, Therapy Army in the chat. Love. Big up Khalees Romani, last achievement of United Real Therapy. Drop a like as you come in, people. Stream the folk. Let's go. Hopefully Saeed's going to jump on now. Tom's going to jump on now. We've got a big show for you today, people. We're going deep dive. We're doing a deep dive. Everybody's talking about Rasmus, Mr. Hojlund. Our Viking, mate. Our Viking. Our Scandinavian Viking. And everybody's thinking about him. And everybody's talking about this and that. That agreed. This agreed. This is the most laughable. So let me just tell you about the comedy FC club Manchester United is. 1 minute the briefing is for sale. Next minute they're telling you can play as in the false nine. For a team that doesn't can't hold possession mainly in the last third. For a team that can't consistently hold possession in the last third. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Big up Khalees Romani Lassie. Big up my brother. Big up King. Love and like, people. Smash a like on your way in. Smash the like on the video, people. Let's get giddy. Let's be having you. We get giddy about therapy time. That's the only time we get giddy. We don't get giddy about the football club, people. We get giddy about therapy time. That's when we get giddy. So smash a like on your way in, and it shows you there, people. It shows you there. The day before, Tucker of the Telegraph, Simon Stone of the BBC, Neil Ashton, and the Murder Madness crew are breathing that he is for sale. Sancho is for sale. And next minute, they're telling you, no. They're telling you he can play as a striker. That's what they're telling you. They're telling you he can play as a striker. That's what they're telling you as a false nine. This is what the football, this is what it is. And you know what? If somebody doesn't point out the obvious and the absurdity, then ain't nobody else doing it. This is how it is, people. Big up to everybody. Let's get in the chat. Tell me what's going on. Tell me. We had a lively debate. Go and check out the Straight Jacket podcast after you're done here. Saeed and Brian lost the plot. There he is. Saeed and Brian lost the plot and told me that Harry Kane's taking Man United to the league. So go and check that out. We were 230 what?
39, 239.
239 is going to be a memorable one because I got clipped. Yep. Saeed and Brian got clipped. And it's gonna be C. We're gonna wait and see FC.
Wait and see FC.
We're gonna wait and see, people, because we had a heated debate about Harry Bottle Job Kane, people. That's what
Harry Kane.
Harry Kane.
You know, I mean, we were fighting over a bottle, man. We were fighting over a bottle, people, man. It's crazy, man. Hey, what are we doing?
There we go. Who's this? Oh. West Ham still pushing to sign Harry Kane. A loan or permanent deal not being ruled out.
Maguire.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds
that one there. That, you know, big up to Darmish Keith here, but he always recycles like news, man. I don't know, man, if he's reliable or not, man. Big up to him though, man. Lovely guy, man. But I don't know, man. Sky Sports nowadays to use as a source. Don't know, man. Don't know.
This is a dagger to my heart, people. Dagger to my heart. Impasse means maybe they're getting close. The impasse. Maybe they're getting close.
No, let me find out what that word is. Impasse. I think that means like when it's not reached. Which no progress is possible because of a disagreement. Oh, United should hide that.
There we go. Big up, people. Impasse is a new word on the transfer speculations of players. People get with it. Manchester United have been an impasse for all the last 10 years that I've known. Manchester's
18 years.
18 years of impasse. No player.
18 years.
That's what it's been.
Man.
But big up everybody. Tom, jump back in. Anthony Elanga has already completed the medical test. We'll sign contracts. I'm not even frustrated.
Man. Big up to the lad, man.
Yeah, big up, man. We wish him well.
Nuruddin. Because you know what, Nuruddin? I think for me, Elanga, he seems like a person is very, very humble. He's, you know what I mean? He don't want to slander anyone. He just puts his head down, and you know what? Like, fair play to him. He's never moaned, never come out in the press. said anything. He looks like a humble kid, man. So I think he'll do well at Nottingham Forest. And I don't want people to say, "Oh, United should have kept him or what." No, let him just enjoy it and let him just kind of, you know what I mean, like
Listen, so some of you might think, clip this up if you want, but young players. I don't doubt young players because many a time young players have come good and then taking that next stage. Sometimes they start out a big club. It's too much pressure.
Yeah.
It's too much. The club's not stable enough for them to showcase their talent. They go somewhere else in a lower club, lower team, lower standard, and then they then become ballers, and then to come back up to a big club. So I'm wishing Elanga all the very best.
All the best.
And like I said, I was never part of his slander. I think that what happened to him and how the club used him was shocking. He was thrown in there in the deep end where the chaos was going on at the football club, and he's not recovered. So big up to him. And we've got another quote. Big up. This is the breaking news. We're not even got into the show yet. These are the breaking news as we start right now. Pelestri, I spoke with him 10 high, and we're working together to find the best club, the best option. I hope to be able to play in my position and my age. What I want is to play. We want to find the best solution. Wow. Is that permanent or loan? Yeah. Is that a loan thing for
No, it's got to be a loan because he's about to sign a new deal, really, or something like that. I want to sign a new deal, but again, we bought too many wingers, man. That Oli era, man. You know what I mean? We bought Dan James in that Oli era. We bought Ahmad. We bought Pelestri. So we bought a lot of wingers in that time, man. So it's obviously now biting us now.
Yeah, and the mystery man, the man who goes missing, Mr. Salt Signal himself. Well, start breaking news, people. Well, start training this week. So we shall see this week. This week. Like I said, I broke it down in Saeed's channel. We just brought on a Straight Jacket podcast. At the age of 27, if you've not figured out what's going on with your body, because I cannot tell you enough, people, that the sports science now is. I have never imagined the advancement in sports science as it is right now. Its levels are incredible. If you're 21 and you don't know what's going on and you're going through maybe a growth spurt and all of that kind of, you've not leveled out yet, I understand. But you're 27 years old, Martial, and you can't figure out why you can't figure out why your body's breaking down, then you have absolutely wasted an opportunity to become an absolute baller and a world beater. Unfortunately, that's how it's gone. Listen, and this is not me knowing if he's got condition. Certain footballers, like other human beings, have certain conditions that he might have an immune system condition that the body just breaks down.
It's about finding out though as well, Nuruddin.
It's about finding out.
Maybe he hasn't done that.
And I gave the example. Ryan Giggs and Roy Keane going to Italy to meet this specialist who was getting players on a specific diet to lose that body fat so that they can be so up for the new season. They would do that. This is what Roy Keane and the likes of Ryan Giggs were doing. And especially Ryan Giggs, because when he was younger, he was driving too many Porsches and smaller cars, and he was getting too many hamstrings. So, but it is what it is. Big up to everybody. Hi, somebody says here, is Amrabat Onana Mount Hojlund good window for you if you get Amrabat Hojlund? No, not for me. No, that's not a good window. That's not a good window because we need another striker. I believe Manchester United need a striker because we're wasting our time with who we just talked about. Sancho, the false nine, like I said, I broke it for you before. It's absolutely crazy. By the way, can we just take this opportunity to first of all, please, our hearts and minds are with people of Greece who are facing the biggest evacuation in the history of Greece because of the wildfires and the
Rhode Island, isn't it?
And
the Rhode Island
extreme,
one.
and extreme temperatures, and it's happening all over Europe. A couple of weeks ago, it was happening in Spain. There was massive floods where I see a man and a woman just standing on top of their 4x4 when there's this landslide rain taking over everything. So we want to do that first of all for the people of Greece and anybody suffering around the world, wherever you are. By natural disasters or by wars or whatever's going on in that region of the world. We always have love and solidarity with those people. And then we like to pay a tribute to Trevor Francis, his family and friends at the shocking death of a 60, I think he's in his 60s. He's had a heart attack in Spain, and heart attack is a big killer.
69.
69.
He was.
69,
big killer.
69.
He was there, just to give a context, people, he was the first £1 million player. They bought him. Who did they buy him from? Birmingham City. He was I think he got on the team when he was 16 at Birmingham, if I'm not mistaken. I remember watching a documentary about him and Brian Clough. And Brian Clough said to him, check this out, he signed, he's the most expensive footballer ever. And guess what happens? He then gets told he's got to go and make the tea. Imagine Brian Clough as a madman. That's how we humble people. So our prayers and thoughts are with Trevor Francis family and friends. And we also like to wish speedy recovery to Saka Hislop, because what we saw there, it was madness, man. Imagine being a pundit and you're talking about a game. I think it was Real Madrid AC Milan game, and he just collapses right there and then when he was on the mic. So apparently he's talking, he's recovering well, and he's conscious. So big up to Saka Hislop, sending him healing energy, universal energy. Big up. Listen, we're going to go into a deeper dive. Welcome, Tom. Tom, how are you? International man of mystery. Are you there? Are you there? He's there. He's everywhere. He's left. He's right. He's everywhere, mate. He's everywhere. Where are you? Those 7 Hills, sunny 7 Hills, or are you somewhere else in the world?
No, we're in the 7 Hills. But yeah, like, listen, anybody who wants to know everything, before Nuruddin tries to spin it or something, I left the country to go visit some friends. All right. I didn't leave the country because he's on about this BS of the bet. That's all you've been banging about all week.
He ran away, people. He ran away. He had the Glazers were selling Tom to the runner. Tom was like, Tom was like, times are hard, friends that are few, and we're in the cost of living crisis. I ain't doing a 3-course meal at Shake Hands. I better get off. So he knows what I'm talking about, Shake Hands. He knows.
Exactly.
But we're doing good. We're doing
good.
Good.
Honestly, I can hear the feedback. Really good feedback. On
I'll go.
Come back, please. Big up to you, brother. Go ahead, Saeed. Saeed, how are you?
Yeah, man, I'm not too bad, man. I got drenched yesterday in the weather, but today's not too bad. And also, by the way, you know what? Thoughts with Saka Hislop as well. Did you see that video, man?
I can't hear what you said. Yeah, go ahead. I can hear you now.
I said thoughts with Saka Hislop as well. Big up to the chat who remind me as well. That was sad as well, man.
Yeah, I was just talking about it.
So
I just said, he's conscious. He's doing well.
He's conscious.
He's conscious and doing his recovery. Listen, there's 120 of you in it. Smash the like on the video, subscribe to the video, channel.
People, man.
So you got drenched, but today was a refreshing, a bit of more sunshine. How are things in Stockport, mate? How are things in sunny Stockport?
Listen, it's not too bad, man. It's quiet in Stockport. That's all I know, man. Like, you know what I mean? It's not the crazy.
What are the neighbours like, man?
Stuff.
Are the neighbours all right?
Good, man. Yeah, I mean, everyone's all good.
City fans?
It's quite
Are they City fans with big
too many, man. It's too many City fans, man. That's why I called Stockport Steve, man. It should be called Stockport Steve, because there are Stockport County fans, and I will be going to the games next season. You know what I mean? But there are too many City fans here, man. Bloody hell. Everywhere you go, it's a City scarf or City shirt.
What did I tell you? Majority of City fans are not even from Manchester. They live in Stockport and they got big dirty tashes, and there's 6 of them and a blind dog. I told you that a long time ago. Julia Roberts, mate. Julia Roberts, pretty woman, rocking down the street, pretty woman. Julia Roberts is about better. Watch out, mate. Apparently, with his wife's permission, Pep Guardiola comes out and says how much he's in love with Julia Roberts, yeah? That's his favourite actress. Pep Guardiola loves that. So you can tell he's spitting dummies, yeah? He's spitting cats when he sees a photo of an embrace between Eric Ten Hag and Julia Roberts. So Julia Roberts is like, hey, we are very excited to be united with a team at the end of the match. They're a part of our family history and sports enthusiasts. It will be great to see people we know and meet new players. Not that many new players. Impasse FC is about, mate. You've not met that many great players. You've met Unana and Mason.
She met Rashford, though. To be fair, she met Rashford.
But she met Rashford last year when she brought her kids to the game. She met Rashford 3 years ago.
She came OT. She came OT.
Yeah. Listen, let's get into it. Hojlund. Let's break it down, guys. Let's break it down, Tom and Saeed. Hojlund is the guy. Yeah, Hojlund is the kid. Hojlund is the kid that everybody is talking about. He's the player that Manchester United might be signing, because that's where we always go with a caution. Might be signing. So let's get into some of the little bit of facts and figures. So the name Rasmus Hojlund. Basically, if you know that kind of Rasmus Hojlund, he is a Viking. He is a Viking, if you know Vikings. He's Scandinavian, and you know this country's history with Vikings. You got to go and check that bit out. So nationality Danish, position centre forward. He is 6'3", so he's just a little bit shorter than me. So he's a big lad.
Yeah.
He's left-footed. His clubs were that he played for. He started as a youth player as FC Copenhagen. I think they're in the capital, if I'm not mistaken, in Copenhagen.
You mean?
Yeah, FC Copenhagen. He was a young player there.
Yeah, it's a young player there as a youth, and they released him. He went to Atlanta, and then Atlanta sent him on loan to Sturm Graz, I think, which is in the, if I'm not mistaken, in the Austrian league. In terms of what kind of a player he has actually quite impressive physical qualities. He's similar. So I'm not saying he's the same. He's similar to Erling Haaland and Nunes in terms of his height and physique and physicality. So he's quite strong, who possesses a lot of explosive power in his legs. So I'm not saying he's good as Haaland or he's good as Nunes yet. But
is he the next generation Haaland?
Yeah. No, similar to them, he is quite explosive, especially if there is any kind of space between him and the space behind any defenders. He is quite physical. You know what? His height obviously arouse him. He is a kind of he's quick over the short distances as well. Like shorter distance completely burns players' speed up. Like as I said, over long distances he'll burn you. In short spaces he'll burn you. He's very much bottom heavy, like he's got big legs, that boy, man, already 20 years old, man, and he is physical. One of the biggest things of what I like about him, actually, you know, sometimes when you look at Hojlund, you look at Nunes, you feel like they're not fully balanced. Do you understand what I'm saying? They're not fully coordinated.
I don't really now, you mean.
Yeah, so I don't know if you ever see Darwin Nunes, sometimes on the ball, he looks like he's a little bit, and Haaland as well, because Haaland is like, you know, Haaland, because he's so tall, he gets down low, doesn't he? He gets down low, and he looks a bit like he scored so many goals, and he's. I think he looks a bit more.
He looks a bit more kind of like, I don't know. Haaland looks very, very awkward when he's running and when he's kind of like, you know. I think he looks a bit more refined in that game in terms of technically wise. He's a bit better.
Unorthodox.
No, he is
unorthodox. Yeah.
Yeah. So the biggest thing what I see it from Haaland, and trust me, I spent 2.5 hours watching so many, and there's not that many games of him to watch, but I've been watching so many games of him just to see like what his hold up plays. We're gonna come to that. We're gonna break it down bit by bit, literally, about his game. But he's straight upsetting. You know, Haaland is a bit like that. Darwin Nunes is a bit clumsy. He is not clumsy. Yeah. He's coordinated when he's on the ball. He's very much coordinated when he's on the ball. Now, does that mean that he's going to be a striker? No. I'm just breaking down his physicality. So we're going through the stages now. Physicality. So he's quite coordinated. He looks very smooth in the motion. Very smooth. His ability
he glides on the pitch.
Yeah. Very smooth. He's not. It's nothing awkward. Nothing awkward about him.
That's good.
Yeah, there's nothing awkward about him. So powerfully, like he's quite powerful, obviously, as well. Like when he strikes through the ball, he hits the ball. Like this kid doesn't do anything by halves, by the way. When he sprints, he sprints. When he wants to take somebody on, he takes somebody on. Like if there is space to be had, he doesn't do things by halves. I think he's gonna learn the little touches in the box. He's got the deft touches. He's got those things, and I think that. From what I watched when he was at FC Copenhagen, right? And I've been looking on YouTube and other things, websites, to try to find bits about his game. From what I see him now, the improvement is massive, people. So a kid that was released from FC Copenhagen to what he is now at one of the top leagues in Europe and in the world, Serie A, the improvement in that 1.5, 2 years is massive. Because I understand now why Copenhagen released him. I understand. So, and that's why I always say, do not prejudge young players. Because you don't know where they find good coaching, good stability, and then they can then thrive. So that's the physicality, people. Coordinated, really good. In terms of ball striking, really good. Hits it truly. Now, the problem is that he doesn't take that many shots. He's not a person that takes too many shots, right? In terms of, because of the team that he's playing for, right? The team that he's playing for. He is accurate, but because the way Atlanta play, Atlanta they're not what they were a couple of years ago. Saeed, Saeed one of Saeed's favorite teams, weren't they, a couple of years ago? A year and a half ago. Was it 2 years ago? They were your favorite team?
Yeah,
Saeed,
yeah. You know what? I used to like Atlanta, especially when they used to have a couple of players that were there, a couple of minors and players like that, you know what I mean? But I think they're a good team, man.
Yeah, they're more of a very direct football team right now. Very direct football team.
Yeah.
So they don't go on possession base. So they don't tend to create a lot of chances for him. But his accuracy is really good. And I mean, his accuracy on goal, if I told you, it's better than Dzeko, better than Martinez, and better than Saeed's boy Osimhen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
you know what? He's got a good record as well. And also, what he is, I think he's the second most in the box for chances or something like that.
Yeah,
I think that's a stat as well. So he is like he's a poacher. But you know what it is though, man? We've not had a poacher since Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
well,
we need a poacher as well.
Saeed, that's the aspect, and Tom, that's the aspect of his game that he's improved. Because if you watch what he was doing for Hope, and to be fair, sometimes he played out wide. He didn't play him as a centre forward a lot of the times from the games for the highlights that I've seen of him. But this is where we go again. We've already got, this is where an improvement needs to be made, because 20 years old, we can still improve. I think 22-year-old, 25-year-olds can improve with good coaching. We've seen it with Wan-Bissaka. We've seen that he's a bit more comfortable in the position he takes up the ball. We've seen that there can be improvements made. And you've seen the wonders that Benny McCarthy and all the coaches have done with the likes of Rashford from the season where he was a ghost of a player, and then what he was last season. Yes, he was burnt out, like with the likes of Bruno. But in terms of Hojlund, I see him like he's one-footed. And we already moan about a player like Anthony, who's one-footed. So he definitely has to work. That's a massive thing that he has to improve. In terms of
a striker, it's not too bad though. For a striker, it's not too bad in the sense of
it's when you, yeah. I mean, listen, lads. Let's be honest. There's not many 20-year-olds that have that good attributes that we've just discussed and pointed out there. At 20 years old, I think really for everything you've just said, Nuruddin, that goes for him. Tell me another player that's got that many attributes, really, at the age that he's at now. There isn't really that. There's the far in between to come from, really, is there not? Maybe in Evan Ferguson if you want to push the belt out, but really there isn't that many players, especially at that age. But as what you were saying with him and how he can develop further, listen, working on your weaker foot and things like that, that's going to become natural. You're going to have to do those sort of things anyway. But he's not been completed as a player, and that's why I like this signing more than maybe others, is based upon you can make him whatever you want him to be. If you want him to be more of a creative number 9, you could probably do that because he's got the physical hold-up attributes to do it. If you want to make him a clinical goal scorer, try and make him a 30-goal-a-year striker or whatever, you can probably do it. Yeah. But you need the right, as you said, you need the right manager and you need the right play style. And the way that you're saying about his accuracy, I've not watched too much of him anyway, so I'm not going to pass judgment on that. But if you're saying what you're saying about accuracy, coming to the Premier League where you have that many creative players that we do, creating chances, so long as he's going to be an in-the-box striker, he should at least, minimum, I'm expecting 15 goals. Minimum. Minimum. But just off of the chances that we create, and as you were saying about dead ball touching the box and certain things like that, the only thing that I'm a little bit concerned about is based upon the age profile, but also the price tag that we're going to have to pay to get that player in comparison to the market. That's the only thing I'm thinking. But in terms of potential, I think he's definitely one of those on the up, and we don't sign enough of those sort of players, or we end up going to our rivals. That's the problem.
The big thing that for me is that he's also extremely physical. Like watching him now, watching the clips of him, Saeed, in Serie A, Anton. That
the hold-up play is good.
The hold-up
play is good.
Yeah. Actually, his hold-up play needs to improve. But in terms of when he's on through one-on-one, using his body, his physicality to get away from defenders extremely well. And that, to me, at this age, tells me a lot. Like, he's a fighter. He is a fighter, 100%. The plus sides are a fighter. I think 100% can improve. His first touch is decent, but his hold-up play is not where it needs to be. He massively needs to improve on his hold-up.
You know
play.
what?
But if we're going to be now a transition FC, Saeed, he is out of all the young strikers, if we're that club now, Manchester United.
Maybe Colin Moani is a different one as well. Colin Moani can be that. But he's a bit more expensive. And he's probably not an out-and-out number 9, whereas Hojlund probably is more. I hear that. I think for me, like I said, I think I'm with kind of Tom in terms of like the kind of experience, the fact that we're paying for. You know what it is, yeah? I just know the fan base next season, yeah, are going to be like,
we're paying for potential. That's the problem.
Yeah. They're all going to be saying the same things that we're apprehensive about right now or kind of a bit conscious around. It's the fact that he's a young striker and he shouldn't be having that sort of pressure right now. Like, you wouldn't see, again, Man City. Okay, Haaland is 22 and but the thing is, though, he's at a level that he's been playing at since 17, year after year.
Yeah, he's been consistent. He's got experience for a young player, hasn't he?
Yeah. No, I meant Nick Nash. I meant in terms of inside the box. I think Ruud van Nistelrooy inside the box was just one of the best we've ever seen. So I meant in that aspect. But you know what? In terms of the Haaland situation and Hojlund is just very, very raw. I don't think anybody's watched him consistently. I've watched about 2-3 games last season of Serie A, yeah. And I watched him. I was like, yeah, he was just running around a lot to me. He kept running around, didn't really have the ball, didn't really kind of stick to him, if I'm being honest with you. So it was very, very raw in that aspect. But then I did see a few good touches here and there, a few good moments. The bit where he scored, I think, in the last game of the season, he basically was inside the box. He stood in between 2 defenders, which is a good trait to have as a striker. And then he just anticipated the ball coming through and then bang, Fox in the box, goal, bang, see you later. So he has got that in him. But like I said, consistency-wise, he hasn't shown that because he's got, 9 goals in 30-odd games? So it's
Saeed, I'll give you a stat for you. He's 20 years old and he's got 24 professional goals in football.
Yeah, again, when you look at it from that aspect,
he's not even scored 30 goals.
He's not even scored 30 goals just anywhere in a whole
professional career.
In his professional career. There we go.
Okay, so like I said, I think for me, there's a potential there for him to kind of like it could go 2 ways, you know. It could be either we get surprised and we're like, who is this demon? Who is this man? Or we could be like, yeah, he needs another season. He's still raw.
Yeah.
He's still, you know what I mean? Like, it's still, you know, we need to relax now. We need to relax and let's not put pressure on him and etc. etc. But also, Ten Hag's gambling as well, like more than anyone. Like people are not understanding what Ten Hag's actually doing. He's gambling on a 20-year-old who, again, is not proven, and he knows its potential, and he's gambling on that. When he's went for before, he had Ronaldo playing, he had Weghorst, even Martial. You know, like he had experienced strikers, not this level. So you know what? Fair play to him, man. You know what I mean? And he's gambled on it, and he must know that it's what he thinks is best for Man United. So again, back to the manager, back to the club, back to everything. What's going on? But he's got all the attributes. I just worry about putting too much pressure on him, and will he deliver in that aspect?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, so. Is it? So,
I think you're on mute, Rudin. Yeah.
Certain players at this age, they don't really feel pressure. There are certain kind of mentality of humans, who look at it and go, "This is a great opportunity for me to showcase things." What pressure? What pressure? Because nobody's expecting him to do. But I just want to go into what he's like in the box. So when I talked about him, the speed and the intensity and how he adjusts in the box is quite freaky, actually. Like I said, the improvement that he made from when he left FC Copenhagen to then playing for the Danish national team and for Atlanta, it is really amazing that how much he's improved. And that's the reason why a lot of people are touting him, because with good coaching like Ten Hag and the good coaches, they must believe in their ability to even improve on further. And I think in terms of when he's holding the ball, he has the strength to pin defenders. He uses his long arms, to physicality, the powers to allow him to keep the ball further away from the players, edging him more than most strikers, right? Again, though, he still needs to work on how to hold up the ball more consistently. With everything I said, it's about consistently. But actually, the way he moves is like the thing you saw, Saturday, that poacher aspect of it. He moves really, really well. Technical, he's good. He can control the ball well with his feet and upper body. So he controls the ball a lot with his chest and torso. He uses his torso a lot. That's when the ball's being whacked to him. And the thing about him as well is that he's not obsessed with staying central positions, to be fair. In terms of where he wants to play, he goes out wide. He likes to take people out down there. He says to people, come on, let me take you down this right-hand side, or let me take you down the left-hand side. He'll go either way. And actually, the way that we're willing to play with Ten Hag, that this kind of a rotational is going to be good, because we know already that Rashford likes to come centrally, doesn't he? Rashford likes to end up in central positions when Manchester United are on a transition or on the attack. So he is good. Like, he's good at his first touch is good. His first touch is good. But the only thing that what it reminds me of, when like this is the only thing. He's got 20 million times better touch than Lukaku. But the way Lukaku used to like to go out wide with the ball, right? Especially go on the right-hand side. He does exactly similar as that. And then attack the from straight positions. So that's the kind of player that he is, right? In terms of him becoming like I said, he drifts out wide. This is the note. I'm just looking at the notes that I've made, right? In terms of mental and tactical, for me, this is what is really important. He plays like Atlanta. He plays as a lone centre forward. Like he plays in a system that's 3-4-2-1. Although like he's lined up front for both club and country. When playing up front too, he generally plays further ahead of his partner. So he's more of the central striker. And like I said, Atlanta play direct football. They play direct football. They're proficient in a transition. So with Ten Hag, right, he is the perfect kind of striker because he's so physical. He's so speedy in terms of the way he's physical, very physical on all aspects of it. He likes to get in there and fight with defenders. So he's going to be perfect. Now, can he do better on the press? Yeah. Can he time the weight when he presses? 100%. He can do that. Right? He has to still improve. It's going to be very interesting to see where United dominate, what we will do then. In terms of like the bravery for me, the mentality, he's very brave, man. You know what? He's not afraid. He's not afraid to receive the ball anywhere. He's not afraid to take.
He's fearless,
to make
man. He's fearless.
He's fearless. He's aggressive, fearless. And he plays with intensity. And that, to me, is one of the reasons why Erik ten Hag wants him. Yeah, he's good at for the way they press Atlanta. He's very good at closing off the angles, cutting out the passing lanes. But he can get better at pressing with that team because it's not just him; it's with the tactics of the whole team, right? So for me, when I look at it, I see in all areas can he improve. He's very good at, especially teams who want to, Saeed and Tom, teams that want to come and press Manchester United. Oh my God. Especially if Onana's long passing is good as people make out to be, then Hojlund, he'll be perfect.
Is he a press monster? Is he a press monster though?
Saeed, yeah, he's very, listen, I think with every team, because certain teams.
We need to press from the front, that's why. The way Ten Hag's playing right now, he wants us to press from the front. He wants us to squeeze teams up the pitch. So if he's not a pressing monster and he can't do sustained pressure, then that's a bit of a sticky one. So you'd hope to see that he applies pressure. He's very, very energetic in that sense. And he's one of them slouches who just wants chances to kind of fall, in his lap and that. He needs to, he needs to have that athleticism as well in that aspect.
No, he does. That's what I'm saying. He's a physical monster. He's a physical sprinter. 6'3", straight up, tall up, big legs, can run for days. He's got energy. He plays with intensity. He has those abilities, but with a hold-up play, he can get better. The pressing side sometimes is up to the trigger. So if he needs to trigger, he has to improve. He has to improve and stay concentrated. And with that, you get repetitiveness in the coaching. And then it's not just one person pressing Said, it's the team. As a
Mm.
team, you can't just go. Let's say if Bruno or Sancho or in one corner, there is Anthony, it's the trigger. It depends on different zones of the pitch who the trigger is. You know what I mean? To press. So he has to learn those things 100%. I had an afternoon's commercial activity organized by NFC in New Jersey on Thursday. Kobe Manu was booked to appear alongside teammates in an event run by Marriott Hotel. In the end, it was decided to keep him out of the media glare.
Because they didn't
Yeah,
want him to ask
cool.
any questions. That's why.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Nah, keep him away from all that media nonsense, man.
yeah.
Let him just stay grounded and just, you know what I mean?
I
You don't
tell
need
you,
to be doing them sort of,
Yeah. I tell you one thing though, with Hojlund though, I think with Ten Hag in terms of why he wants this player, and I think Ten Hag's going to push more for this player as the negotiations or saga goes on with Atalanta, based upon that. I think if we don't get him, I think somebody else will, whether it be now, next summer, January, whenever. I think another big European club would come for him, and they wouldn't be probably too hasty if he had a full season and he still showed maybe similar highlights or maybe a bit more of his ability with Atalanta this season. Same thing on international duty. And I don't know if Denmark are going to. I would be surprised if they weren't going to be in the Euros. And he went to the Euros and he lit that tournament up. Suddenly his stock's going to rise as a player. But the thing that I looked at with Ten Hag is, I don't think out there in the market, really. I think it's gun shy of number nines, really. And I mean decent number nines. If you want to pay £80 million for a number 9, you're not getting a complete player, really, in the market today, because Harry Kane costs more than 80. You talk it like you were just saying today. If you want to say Mbappe's a number 9, whatever, he's going to cost you a shed load. Lewandowski probably would have cost you upwards of that figures. Like number 9s today, you don't get a complete one for more than 90 million. So I think what Atalanta are demanding, they're looking at the market and they're thinking, well, if you ain't going to come for our kid, you ain't going to go anywhere else and get anybody cheaper. So
yeah, that's
the
again
only
another
thing,
thing as well. Is that,
the only thing is
you know,
the potential. But the potential for this kid, I think, is a lot higher than maybe some of the more modern day strikers and what they've actually done today. Because when they were at 20, I don't think they were in this position that this kid is in, really. And that's the only thing why I say if we don't act now, I'd be shocked if you don't see another European club coming for him. And I'd probably be very surprised if when Chelsea were looking at a number 9, before they went for Jackson, who's a similar profile of player, unproven, not really had that similar amount of stats, if they weren't looking at someone like a Hojlund next to a Jackson, I would be shocked based upon the profile between the two players. But even in saying that, lads, right, we just need a number 9. I don't care if it's potential, they've proven it, whatever. I want a number 9, someone who knows that position and who's been playing it from since they were, 18 or however long. I want somebody who knows the number 9 position. None of this, he's a left winger and we're going to convert him and all that shite. No, bring in somebody who knows that exact position and let's see what they're capable of. We haven't had a really young number 9 at Man United for, I can't even remember. That's how far back we're going.
No, 100%, Tom.
Wayne Rooney, maybe. Like
Exactly,
and
exactly.
Wayne Rooney.
That shows probably our age, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The thing about him is that for a tall 6'3" guy, he's just slightly shorter than me, just slightly, right? He's not that good in the air, which I find really surprising. He's not. He's only scored 1 goal for Atalanta in the air. He's not that very. I mean, Saeed, you watch them. From what I watch, they like to play more direct football on the floor. They're not a very crossing team. They're not doing a David Moyes.
No. Gasparini's football is very, very like high detailed intricacies, passing, movement, high energy football. But in terms of, like I said to you, what you just said there, it's different, man. And especially in the box, they're not direct in that aspect. They have got a physical aspect in Zapata, who plays up front. For them. But again, like I said, he's because of the hold-up play, he does well in that aspect. So yeah, man, it's one of them where I wouldn't want him to be a monster in that situation. I think for me right now, Manchester United need a player who can link up and be a thought, the kind of just players that can run off them. Because we have a lot of players like that. We don't really have a particularly tall squad. If you take out, let's say, Varane out of the team and maybe Rashford, You know, obviously McTominay not a first teamer, but not really
Yeah,
particularly tall squad. But in terms of,
yeah.
like I said, the running in behind and whatnot, and just the kind of energy that we've got abundance. Man, Mount now, Bruno. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be keep it on the floor, and let's get the balls in behind it in the channels. You know?
Mm.
Yeah.
Just while we're on the subject of Hojlund, because obviously I've not watched him maybe as much as you have, Nuruddin, in terms of research or anything. What's he like against low block teams? What's he like
Yeah,
when he
that's a
doesn't
good point as well.
when he doesn't have that space in behind? What's he like?
The only thing that I can see from what I saw from the highlights is that the teams that Denmark played were playing a bit of low block, and he started to improve being a fox in the box. So if you get the ball in and around the area, he's good. But definitely he has to improve to find space. But it shows you not everybody in Italy, they like to defend their box.
Yeah,
that is a league that's I'll tell you, they're a league that likes to defend their box. They're not all playing high press football. They like to defend their box. So it shows you that he's got actually a higher higher percentage of keeping the ball, of touches in the box. So he's the kind of guy, like I said, because of his physicality, that he takes touches in the box. And then if the ball is put into a certain area, he can move around. Like I said, that's the aspect that he's brought into his game, reading it. And that's, with the coaching that has been done, whether with the Danish national team or with Atlanta, he's definitely improved. Honestly, I'm not going to lie to you. Before I started doing this research on him, I was just like, taking a big risk with a youngster. After spending a couple of hours today, I'm not going to lie to you, I'm far more positive than I was before I'd done the research. Yes, sample.
Yeah, you're right.
So the sample, yes, you can. The biggest thing, the downfall is that it's not a massive sample. It's that the sample is not massive in terms of his professional career, right? He's not played that many games.
It should have been alongside a Harry Kane. It should have been alongside another striker so he can learn off and be. You know, it is as well. He's the sort of player that you need to rotate as well. Like, last 20 minutes, Champions League games, Carabao Cup, FA Cup. You know, you nurture these guys into a team. You don't just put them in there straight away. Like, you know what I mean? Like, again, he might be ready. We don't know yet. You know what I mean? But you can't just expect everything to kind of just come like that. Like, it's not gonna work, man.
No, I think with what you guys have just said there about with a number 9, the pending, result and decision that's hanging around sort of Mason Greenwood as well, I think that does go into a bit of thought, because where Ollie was working him, Ollie worked him more as play on the right and cut in on your left foot. But to the latter stage, that was when we brought Ronaldo back. And then obviously Ollie, bogged down from there, and we know what happened with Mason Greenwood. And I do think Ten Hag, just on the player itself, I think he'd like a player like Mason Greenwood. He would like that sort of player. And that's the only other sort of, not really a solution, because I don't think he should ever play for Man United ever again. But I think only in terms of the player and how you could develop him. But again, in saying that, one of them's had about a 2-year layoff, who's played hardly any football in Mason Greenwood. And the other one, as you said, Said, coined it perfectly with a word, is raw. So really, you're putting two young lads out there in the deep end, potentially, one of whom we know at any stadium that he goes to is going to get absolutely hammered the hell out of by anybody, based upon what's happened personally.
I don't think he's coming back, Tom. I genuinely don't think he's coming back.
I hope he doesn't come back, for me personally. I really hope he doesn't come back.
I think Manchester United are delaying. I think they would have made a decision already, and they would have
They are pussyfooting around it, though, because
but what does this football club do? Like everything else.
We
need to make a decision, man.
We just kicked the can down the road. That's all that they did. Like when it came out, when it came out, and the results came out from Greater Manchester Police. Why did you not just pull him in to the training ground, have a discussion with him? Look, you've got this much left on your contract. We'll give you a settlement payout, either half of the wages or the full payout. Go and enjoy your football career somewhere else, because you can't play for Manchester United. And if I'm looking at it, if I'm looking,
Ten Hag clearly wants him.
I think from looking at the outside looking in, I think everybody who's on the football side of the club wants him to come back, because they know how good of a player he is when he was there as a young player. And still a lot of the youth members of staff will probably still be working at United, who still know this kid's potential. But you then have the commercial side of the football club that are thinking, well, I think he was sponsored by Nike. They walked away from him as soon as they heard anything of allegations or anything, whether they were proven or not. They pulled the plug on him completely and said, "Nah, see you later." If that's just for an individual player sponsor, imagine Adidas. The Adidas deal's already on thin ice with Man United already. We've had how many sponsors have pulled out of coming to Manchester United?
Loads, mate. Loads.
Loads.
Listen,
And this is what's going to cause problems. And that's why I think the conflict from commercial perspective and football perspective
I'll
is
never
probably
forget
why
the
we're still
Chevrolet
here
guy.
now.
Remember the Chevrolet guy? Chevrolet, the car.
Chevrolet, yeah.
The guy got sacked. He gave Manchester United that deal. He got sacked.
He got sacked.
My guy got sacked, Saeed. It was hilarious. But I'll go to you, Saeed. We were linked with, we go to the next statement before we finish up the show. We were linked with Mbappe.
Hey,
And then
Kylian
Kylian
Mbappe.
Mbappe.
Kylian Mbappe.
If only Qatar was here, man. If only Qatar was here, man, we'd be in this.
Listen,
Honestly, man, if only Qatar was here, man.
Yassin, put in a word, my guy. Put in a word.
Jassim, man, put in a word, man. Bloody hell, man. Put in a
Do you
word.
think this team is
Put in
ready
a word
for
anyway.
Do you think this
Put
team
in a
is
word
ready
anyway.
for Mbappe? For the absolute diva that he is.
Nah, man, listen, man, I'm taking Mbappe, diva or not diva. He delivers on the pitch, Nuruddin. You could be a diva, Nuruddin, but if you deliver on the pitch, Nuruddin, why do you care? You know what I'm saying to you? Like, he delivers on
Into a
the
team
football
ethic,
pitch.
or is he going to be a prima donna and then cause problems and havoc and be a problem? Like Ronaldo became a problem. That's the question I'm going to ask you both, like you and Tom. Are you willing to get past the diva tactics? And then it's all about him, and the circus becomes all about him, and it takes the focus away from the team. Or to me, it's 2 years. In 2 years' time, I'll take Mbappe, because then he'll be the cherry on top. Because then the rest of the squad is ready to be sorted.
You bring in Mbappe to get everyone else. Like if you bring in Mbappe, then everyone comes in and wants to play with Mbappe. You know what I mean? That you know what I mean? Like that's the thing that I think
didn't work like that with Ronaldo.
Ronaldo, come on, Nuruddin.
It didn't work like that.
Nuruddin, Ronaldo.
Nobody was banging the doors down.
When did Ronaldo come in? 36 years old, man. He finished in terms of.
Your age is nothing but a number. My guy told us, man. Age is nothing but a number. But me and Saeed saw my guy. Me and Saeed saw my guy falling all over the place. Nobody the ball. No, the ball's not even near him. The camera's not near him.
Oh man, Nuruddin, don't do that, man. It's sad, man. Honestly, it was sad to see, man. A legend of the football club, man, and him just coming here and just, you know, it wasn't a great experience, man. It was obviously for the time he was there, it was good. Viva Ronaldo around the stadium. We'll always enjoy that. But the actual, when you look at him back, he was like, nah, man, we should never have got him back, man, just to protect his legacy. But for me, I think overall, like I said, man, you know, Mbappe is a dream. I think he will take this money. I've got a feeling that he will, you know, especially now that we're saying it's 13 million euros a week without tax, guys, by the way. So tax-free. Yo, tax-free, man.
13 million. So I say it again.
Yeah. 13 million euros a week. He will be there for a year, so it'll be 700 million euros a year.
I think they do a tax on it. I think they do a tax on it though. When he comes back to Europe, if he goes Madrid, you best believe.
What if he leaves his investments over there and he just has it as assets?
Saudi Arabia are dealing with brown envelopes, mate. They're not dealing with wire transactional bank accounts. These guys move
I'm just saying though, if
they
he leaves his
Tiger
money
Woods,
there.
Tiger Woods, one of the most professional golfers, $700 million to leave the PGA Tour and go join their Live Golf setup group, and he said no. So legacy for footballers. If we're being honest, Mbappe will get this sort of money 5 years time. Why go now? If Saudi Arabia is going to be this big success, he'll go there at some point and get big money then. I mean, it does happen with kids. That's the only difference that I'm saying.
That is crazy. So they offer him 13 million euros a week. That's what 12, what 10, 11 million pounds.
About 11 million, yeah.
A week.
A week.
So let me just hear this right.
Yeah.
A week.
Yeah, a week. Yeah, 30 million euros a week. That's what they're offering.
So the whole package for a year is
It'll be a billion.
Something. It'll be a
Yeah,
billion.
it'd be a billion.
Basically a billion. Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
They
You
spend
know
nearly
what? He can go on with that. He can go and buy his own football team. You know that.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, there you go.
He can
Go
buy
buy
his
his own
own
football
team.
team.
He can actually buy a team in Saudi Arabia or whatever he wants to do. He can.
Mbappe.
You know what I mean? Like, there's so many things.
Listen,
Generational wealth, man.
Saeed,
It's
with
crazy.
Can Mbappe go in with Sheikh Jazim and buy Manchester United?
Bro.
Listen, he's
If
taking
only
the
Mbappe
Saudis
was
money
a
out
United fan.
Qataris, though.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem, man. It's
It's
Saudi money.
crazy.
And
Listen,
Qatar and Saudi, they don't see eye to eye, man.
yeah. And
You know
this is
what I
why I
mean?
want to
It's
correct the
nasty.
record, Saeed, because shout out Rance, my brother Rance. Yeah, shout out Rance. Rance was saying that I saw the clip of you. Somebody, I think it was social media or whatever. Well, I don't know where I saw it. And where he was saying, oh, the Saudi Arabia takeover Newcastle took time. What he doesn't understand and doesn't know that is that it took a year and a half because when there was a conflict politically between Saudi Arabia and Qatar, and then what they did, what Saudi Arabia did, the government side, officially, they took the single TV signal for overseas Premier League live TV rights. They took the feed of BN Sports, which is the Premier League, to BM. They said
of course.
They took that and pirated it out for the world.
Yeah.
That's the reason why that the takeover of Newcastle took that long. It would not have taken that long.
No,
it would have took 6 months at the most, but it took a year because that had to be settled. And they had to find a political solution. They had to find a political solution, right, between Qatar and Saudi Arabia. And then when they've done that, then Saudi Arabia had to then change the law and not pirate Premier League TV rights to the rest of the world. And that's the reason why he didn't. And I thought I sent it to you, but I sent it to the group. That's me going off on Saeed.
But also, did they not need to clarify if PIF was a state-owned and
no.
Saeed,
he doesn't take as much.
Yeah.
Saeed, that didn't take as much. The biggest stumbling block, trust me on this one. You know
Piracy.
I know about you,
Piracy.
Saeed. I'm undefeated when it comes to geopolitical situations, Saeed. I'm undefeated.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
I'm undefeated. I knew about the geopolitical stuff for a long time. Even the British government the Premier League was lobbying the British government to say to Saudi Arabia, what the hell are they playing at? What the hell are they playing at? But because it was lockdown, it wasn't as in the news. Do you know what I mean? It was during that time.
Yeah, of course.
So that's why it took the longest. Not because it is whatever. It is because on paper, Saudi Arabia, on paper, they can prove this is an investment and that Bin al-Salman is the head because that's how Saudi Arabia works. Yeah. But this is an investment portfolio. And Saudi Arabia own all sorts of things in this country. So for them to go, no, you can't, it would be ludicrous, right?
Yeah.
They had to make that law if they want to stop that state ownership of football clubs in this country.
Facts.
Right? So
that's true.
The biggest stumbling block was, so just remember that, Saeed, next time somebody uses that as an excuse about what the Glazers are doing, that was because of the piracy of the Premier League games, TV rights abroad, especially to the Middle East and Africa and to the rest of the world, because Saudi Arabia were basically stealing the feed and showing it, pirating that, without paying a penny for it. That's the reason why. And when that was settled, boom, so Newcastle went through like that. Boom, straight away. And that's the difference. But anyway, we move on. We go past Mbappe. We'll move on to our next topic, people. Last and final topic, Saeed. Listen, I've been hearing about this kid. I've been hearing about this kid for quite a while. I'm not going to lie to you. I've been hearing about him for quite a while. Dan Gore, he came and impressed at Edinburgh. He impressed. But I've been hearing about this kid.
Old, man.
18 years old. And you know what? I was getting nervous, Saeed. I was super, honestly. You know what?
Why?
I didn't even do a video on it, Saeed. You know why? Since Greenwood, it's like United are cursed when it comes to youth. Honestly, I'm not lying to you.
Yeah.
Since Greenwood,
players are going abroad
Saeed,
as well.
you know me. Nobody's overhyped Greenwood more than I have ever done. Nobody else was overhyping him more than me. And then look what happens. You've already seen, Saeed. You know I've talked to you about knowing Kobe Manu's dad. I know Mikey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I told you about this kid, but I've stopped talking about it. I've done videos on this channel. We talked about it on Straight Jacket podcast, that he's a talent, especially when they won the the Youth Cup. We talked about him.
Yeah.
We talked about him mainly, and Garnacho as the next two guys to come out of that. 11 years
Come out of
Manchester
that.
United didn't. Yeah, come out of that squad. But Dan Carr,
Yeah.
Saeed, is a talent. He's an absolute talent. Ask our brother, the kid that we know who coaches there. I spoke to him about it. Like, Dan Carr is a brilliant footballer. Low sense of gravity, aggression, speed,
Silky as well.
determination, fight, skill, Saeed. Skill, comfortable on the ball. Very comfortable on the ball. And Manchester United have finally signed him to a long-term contract. So I am celebrating that. Congratulations to Dan Carr and his family, his friends.
Let's hope.
Everybody
You know what it
associated
is,
with
though?
him. Now, Saeed, I say, loan the kid out. Get him out there, go and play football before you waste his time like you did with Saeed Iqbal. Get him the F out of here. Go and send him
Charlie
to
Savage
Middlesbrough.
as well.
Send him to
Savage as well.
Middlesbrough. Send him to Middlesbrough. Michael Carrick there will look after him.
Or Ipswich.
Yeah.
Ipswich are in the Championship now. You know, Ipswich will apparently what they're saying is Ipswich will be the next Brighton in terms of the way they structure their football club and the way they're playing and their scouting team. And now, I think there was an article about by David Ornstein, I think last year, and he was saying that Ipswich have got a similar kind of recruitment model and way they're doing it to Brighton in that aspect.
Big up. Listen, they used to be a big club. They were a big club.
Yeah.
The fact that they were in League Two was absolutely shambles.
Mm.
The fact that they were in League One was shambles.
That's where
look! Guess who broke the news about Kylian Mbappe? Duncan Disgraceful Castles, an absolute clickbait muppet. What a muppet! Listen, Duncan. Hopefully, one of these days you climb out of Jose's ass. And then you find you'll be walking normally in a real world. I'm sure I'm begging he would have linked them to Roma. I swear would have found a way to big up Jose Mourinho. If you want to talk about the biggest Jose Mourinho stand in world football, Duncan Muppet Castles. But I'll say Dan Carr, to me, I was like, are Man United going to drop the ball? But they haven't. But Saeed, we need to get him out here. What have you seen of him? What do you know about him?
Yeah. I've watched him in the youth games, especially as well. The preseason as well, man. He's not looked out of place again, man. He was man of the match in the second half against Lyon. He's just comfortable, man. Very, very tidy in possession, aggressive as well. I'm not saying he's got that Paul Scholes element to him, but he's got that bite as well, man. Like he follows in through the tackles. And like I said, likes to dictate from deep. So I think he'll be a good player, man. It's just, again, like I said, for me, 18, he can still develop. I think he's still got that development stage. But when he reaches 19, 20, he then has to be put on a proper loan. Like, genuinely loaned. And we can't afford to just say, you know what, like, he's not going to get opportunity. He has to be put on loan.
Saeed, I'm not going to lie to you. I think he's ready for a loan right now. I'm not going to lie to you. I think the only way he's going to get better and he's going to improve significantly, and you can disagree, both you and Tom, and I'll come to you, Tom, is that he needs a loan now, Saeed. We can't wait till he's 20. He needs to be loaned now because he needs to go out and play football. 100% he needs to go and play football.
Mm-hmm. Again, it's just the way they want the manager. Like, Ten Hag's got this under control, though, isn't it? Like, this youth setup now. He seems to be dictating where people go alone, when people don't go alone. So, yeah, and then they bought.
I don't think he does, though.
As well.
I don't.
You don't think so?
I don't
he said
know.
he would do, though.
Well,
he would do.
If he has control of the youth setup, what happened with James Garner? What's just happened with Zidane Iqbal? Like, the talent for those two players is there, and you can't say it with James Garner because he did have that loan. He had that brilliant, successful loan at Forest, come back, and then he was shipped off to Everton. And let's be honest, lads, have we heard anything else from James Garner ever since, really? No.
He's been injured, innit? He was injured.
But he's been injured. Well, there you go. Yeah. You're probably not going to hear a lot from the Zidane Iqbal side of things at Utrecht.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing that I'm looking at into where you said about with Ten Hag and having control of it. I think he has a say on who he thinks is good enough. And I think there's a very slim chance that you'll impress him that much. And that's why, in such as Kobe Mainoo's case, I think he has done that.
He needs to play. He needs to have at least 4 or 5 games next season.
Yeah,
he needs to play 4 or 5 games next season. Big up Saeed, people. Go and check out 239th Straight Jacket podcast. It got heated. Harry Kane. Big up Saeed. Love. Yeah. For me, I'm glad that he signed, but he needs to go and play football, man. 18-year-olds need to go out there and go and play football. They have to go and play football. Honestly, they have to. They have to, because I can't see him. Manu's ahead of him already. Like, Kobe Manu's ahead of him, and he needs to go out and play football. And like I said, Ipswich is there. You know what? Carrick will take care of him. Carrick will play him in certain games where he can take him out for a bit. Ipswich can do that, yeah.
You mean McKenna?
Yeah. Sorry, Kieran McKenna at Ipswich as well. Yeah.
He's at
and Carrick at
Ipswich.
Middlesbrough.
Yeah, Carrick's at Middlesbrough.
Yeah. Send him to Preston, even closer, so we can keep an eye on him. That did the world of good.
They did a good job with Alvaro Fernandez, didn't they? On that for that loan. But
well, you know what? If he wants to do that, if he wants to go himself, then yeah. Honestly, maybe even
back yourself. Back yourself. Go abroad. Prove a point. Do what Jadon Sancho did. If Pep Guardiola, the best coach in the world, don't think I'm good enough, well, I'm gonna F off and I'm gonna show him. Went to Dortmund, ripped the Bundesliga apart with Erling Haaland. But even just on the point before, when we were just on about Mbappe, because I didn't really have much of a say on that, was there's only 3 players really in world football that I would take right now.
Who?
One of them's our nearest rivals in City, Erling Haaland. The other's Vinny Jr. and the other's Mbappe. Those 3 are taking the mantra and going to take over really from what we've seen with Messi and Ronaldo. And they're going to fight it out probably between the 3 of them for the Ballon d'Or every single season. Mm-hmm. That's what I see anyway. The only problem, and I get what you said about with the sort of troublemaker persona and everything like that. But what you said to the last point with Saeed was, I don't think this team needs Mbappe yet.
No, I said he's a cherry on top. He's a cherry on top.
That's exactly it. And that's why I said if City didn't get Haaland, Mbappe would probably be that cherry on the top for them there.
Yeah.
In the same case of when you've done everything and you've fortified your defence, you've got multiple defenders, midfielders, attackers, and you need that one world-class player or that one superstar that, do you know what? On one day, your team's playing shite, but he can drag you out of the mud and score 3 goals or whatever, just like he did at the World Cup final, then that's the sort of player that you need. You need a player that's going to drag you out from the depth of where you think you've already lost. Like, let's be honest, France thought they lost that World Cup final when they went the goals down. Yeah. But Mbappe gave them that light. He was their only leading light for majority of that tournament, and he blew up in the final. And if we're being probably honest, millimeters away, they probably could have won it at the end.
Yeah.
If Kolo Muani would have scored past Martinez, and they would have done. But that's the only thing. But and just to link it with the Dangor sort of situation, you bring a player in like Kylian Mbappe, forget any more young attackers breaking out at Man United. Forget it. You won't have another Marcus Rashford situation or a Garnacho situation, because how can you develop players? You can't develop players. The only thing that you can do is you'd have to ship them out on loan. And that's the only thing that I'm saying. In the same case with Ahmad, Palestri, all these young wingers that we have, you'd completely be forgetting about all them. So if you want to go out there and get Kylian Mbappe, you might as well ship Ahmad on and sell him on for whatever you can now. Same thing with Palestri. All right, and we'll just bring in Mbappe. And that would be it for the whole season.
Yeah, listen, big up to everybody. Smash a like on the video. Listen, we're not even on 100 likes. It's absolutely shocking. We're not even on 100 likes. We're not even on 100 likes.
Oh, yeah, no, I forgot to ask you. Just before the end streak, what do you think to Fletcher's lads? Fletcher's lads, they've come to United, haven't they?
Oh, my God. Well, like I said, I don't want to personalize it to them, but honestly, talk about nepotism, mate. Honestly.
I don't understand how your father's the technical director and he puts his sons in City's academy. Are they spies? Like, what's the thing?
Bro, honestly, I don't know what's going on. Honestly, Tom, I don't know what's going on. But for me, I'm like, so who are they replacing? Who are they replacing? His twins?
Probably Iqbal they'll replace. They might replace Tangor if he went out on loan or something like that. It frees up an academy spot, maybe. I think they're only 6. I think they're only 16, though, if I'm not mistaken. I think they are still young. So,
yeah. Big up to Windy. Windy said last week, kids at the Glazer Foundation support rang the closing bell and New York Stock Exchange. I guess it's because United was in town. Probably. I hope it's because it's the last time that the Glazers are ever going to ring any bell, and that Manchester United are saying goodbye to the New York Stock Exchange. I hope and pray that's the truth. But big up to Tom there. Windy also says here, you really have to shake your head at United decision making. I've been doing that I've been doing that for the past decade. Windy, big up to you. You schedule Mainoo for commercial appearance, then change their mind. Does the right hand not know what the left hand is doing? They could use your expertise. Windy, you need to go and apply for a job at United and sort them out. Nuruddin, can we afford to wait till January and go for Ivan Toney? No. I don't think Ivan Toney, with everything that's surrounding him in terms of the gambling and stuff like that, I don't think at Brentford, it's not going to be headline news. When he joins Manchester United, it's going to be headline news. So I don't think Manchester United want to get involved in that. I'll be shocked if Manchester United were to get involved in that. We've already the stuff with what's going on already with some of our players who are finding themselves in the midst of controversy and finding themselves in the midst of serious allegations and issues. Like I said, when it comes to Greenwood, I can never unsee those photos or unhear what I heard in that tape. It is what it is, people. And I don't think it's going to change anytime soon. I think Manchester United, they need to let the kid go. He can go to Spain. He can go to wherever he wants to go. Him and now they got a brand new, they've had a baby. They need to go and start their lives again together. But that don't mean that what he did is for anybody in Manchester United to be cheering him on with a Manchester United shirt. I just don't see it. I don't see it. Anytime I remember he's a technical director, I want to vomit. Ooh. Wow. I don't want to say that, Alien Tenno. Let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about that, bro. Let's not talk about that, Alien Tenno. Alien Tenno is already on the beer or on the whiskey or whatever he's drinking. Big up to everybody. Grealish is a menace. Vinny Grealish are the guys now. Nah. I'm sorry, but Vinny Jr. is way ahead of Grealish. Sorry. So that's Fletcher can bring his sons. Jobs for the boys. Remember, 100%. That's what I'm talking about. Jobs for the boys with the thing with Evans. Even though I liked Evans, I never wanted Evans to leave Manchester United. And I love him, Evans, as a player. He should never have left. He had one bad season and everybody judged him. And players can't have one bad season. It is what it is. But big up to all of you. I thought that it was a brilliant podcast. Please, let's get to at least 120 likes before we go off, right? We'll give you 3-4 minutes to get to 120 likes. 150 of you here. So let's get to 120 likes, people. Let's go. Can we do it? I'd take Mbappe still. Eski, you take anybody. You'll take Ronaldo and you'll take Messi right now. And Mbappe and Neymar. Damn. It's smart, really. Really used. It's smart, really. Use City facilities to develop these kids and switch them over once they're old enough. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, and also Tony supports Liverpool. I can't see that happening. Yeah, he's come out and said that's his dream to play for Liverpool Football Club. I'm not having somebody who talks about Liverpool Football Club and then wants to come and join Man United. I'm sorry. I just don't. I don't want that. Eski saying I'm slandering him. Eski, I'm not slandering you. Big up, Khalid Ramadine Lassie for all the super brilliant quotes, by the way. Chief Editor United Real Therapy. Man UNC are willing to pay more than 60 million for Rasmus Hojlund. Unwilling. Ten Hag has other targets in addition to Hojlund. United are adamant he's not their only option. Woo! United are playing tough here. They're playing tough here. Playing hard to get here. Yeah. And then Windy asked here, what was the United's interest in what happened to United's interest in Gonzalo Ramos? What happened to that? Well, basically, I think he's too expensive. They always get over 100 mil or close to 100 mil for their players. You see Benfica. I think Benfica are one of the biggest selling clubs in European football. They make them one of the highest profits in European football selling on players. So it's not going to be easy, but somebody like Sheikh Arian loves Ramos. That's his dream striker for Manchester United. And just to make him happy, I think Manchester United should go and do that. Go and get Ramos. Forget Harry Kane business. Go and get Ramos. and go and get Hojlund as well. Can you imagine that? Hojlund, Ramos, Caicedo, get a big centre half. You know what? Some of you in the chat need to let me know about talented centre halves that I can scout. I don't know that many good centre halves that I've seen going, they're amazing. So tell me about it. Tell me about it. Big up to Khalis Ramadeen Lassie. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at Khalis Ramadeen Lassie. At Khalis, KLISRMDEENLESSEY. Right? Follow him. Make sure you give him a follow on Twitter, people. And if you want to know, if you want to hear my, if you want to see me rattle the Murta gang, yeah, the Murta army, come check me out. That guy, Red Devil, Mr. Structure on Twitter as well. Check me out. Lacubia from Leon. Okay, I'll check him out. I'll check him out. Lacubia from Leon, yeah. Yeah, Kim Min Jae was an amazing guy for 40 million as well, for cheap as well. For that cheap, for that clause. Like I told you all, anytime Manchester United enter a race against a proper football club, Manchester United lose. And by the way, it will break my heart. I'm telling you right now. Caicedo goes to Chelsea, he's going to improve them fastly. If Paulinho goes to Liverpool, he's going to make significant changes to the league, to their league position. So is Caicedo. They're that kind of transformable players. It breaks me. It absolutely breaks me. But big up to everybody. Love and light. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. But Nick Nash, before we go, and Khalis, let me know how many likes we're on the video. How many likes we on, people? How many likes are we on? Yeah, Murta Defense League, mate. Murta Defense League. If you want to see me rattle them on Twitter, that guy, Red Devil, Mr. Structure. Come on, 2 more likes, people. 2 more likes. 2 more likes. 2 more likes. Let's get to 120 likes at least. Oh, yeah, he got injured. Yeah, we wish him a speedy recovery. What a brilliant player. Yeah, I seen him with holding up his arm. I hope it's not too serious. But I hope that means he doesn't go to Liverpool. He doesn't go to any of the big rivals. He doesn't go to Chelsea. He doesn't go to Liverpool. He stays at Fulham 1 more year. Come on, people. Take me out of my own misery. Tell me we got to 120 likes on the video. Come on, people. Have we got 120 likes on the video? You absolute, some of you, honestly, you're worse than the Glazers. Hey, we've only gone past the 123. Big up to every one of you. Please share, like, subscribe to the channel. If you're not already subscribed, people, let people know about the community. It's raw, it's real, and it's red. This is the podcast, people. Raw, real, and red. That's what we're on. Raw, real, and red, people. And if you're one of those sensitive people about Manchester United and you're part of the Murta Defense League, this channel is not for you. If you want to come and tell the truth about this club, come here any day, all of the time. Big up the Lee Edson, my brother as well. Big up to everybody. Big up all the regulars. Tomorrow morning, Sky Sports, Stephen Four Faces, Napier and New York are going to smash Fulton aside in 3 rounds. Oh, okay. Okay, so a lot of people here, Nick Nash and that, people. Let's see if we get to 130. Give me 130, people. Let's see, it's like an auction. Can we get to 130? Can we get to 130 likes on the video? Come on. Come on, lads. Come on, guys. Therapy Army. Let's be having you. Let's be having you, Therapy Army. Give me that. Give me that. Boxing. You're talking about boxing here. I don't really follow boxing that much, people. I'm not a big boxing fan. I watch the big fight there and then, but I'm not a big boxing fan. Not a big boxing fan at all. Come on, somebody. Make me out of my misery. Get me out of my misery, people. Are we on 130 likes yet? 130. 130. Are we on it yet, people? Give us that 130. Give us that. Come on, lads. Come on. Lasses. Lads, anybody in between. Non-binary people. Whoever you are. Big up to everybody, by the way. Come on. Come on. We're supposed to be talking about football. And the Emperor and Nick Nash are at it. Put your money where your mouth is. He's going off in the chat. He's going off. He's going off about boxing. Oh my gosh. Listen, the Emperor and Nick Nash need to follow each other. They need to follow each other and sort that bets out, mate. But hey, cost of living crisis and all that, people. Don't be betting too much. Make sure that, you know, you got enough for food, man. You got enough for food, people. Times that hard, friends that are few, people. Times that hard, friends that are few. Somebody please tell me, Khalees, are we on 130 likes yet? 130 likes. Yeah, big up, man. Big up. Impasse means sticking points, boys. Yeah. Big up. Big up, man. Big up, Emperor. Way, we're on 131. Big up to every one of you. Please smash a like on the video if you're watching this later. Please tell me about what the attributes that you like about Hojlund. If you want Hojlund at Manchester United, those of you who watch the podcast later, let me know. Let me know in the comments. Get involved, people. Do you agree with our scouting, what we did? Also, write recommendations for me. Centre-halves to scout, right? Centre-halves to scout for Manchester United. So write the recommendations in the chat for me. Do you agree with the scouting that we did on Hojlund? Do you disagree? Obviously, Mbappe, Comedy FC. Here we go. But would you take him on loan for a season? Would you take him? I wouldn't take him, but would you take him? And then what else did we talk about? Dan Carr. So he is signed his contract. It's a fantastic, talented young player. We wish him well. So would you get him on loan, Dan Carr? Or would you want him to be in around training with the first team? Or do you want him to go on loan straight away? Do you agree with me or disagree with me? Let's get into it, people. Let's get into it. Big up to everybody. Big up Chief Editor United Real Therapy, Khalees Romadin Lassie. Go and make sure you give him a follow. Big up the Leadson. Nick Nash and Emperor. Never change, guys. Never change. Never change. Big up to you both. Big up to everybody who's tuned in tonight. Make sure you go and check out 239th Straight Jacket podcast. It got heated. It got a bit heated. It got a bit heated, people. We got there, and it was brilliant show. I basically wrapped Brian and Saeed up in the paper, and I bun that weed, mate. Bun that weed. I'm joking. I didn't, but I told them that Harry Kane, they're building him out to be like he is like R9. He's not R9. Like he's Thierry Henry. He's not Thierry Henry. So at the end of the day, I said, for me, sorting a midfielder out, sorting a centre back out, and buying 2 strikers, but I'm not spending 120 million on Harry Kane alone. And he's not going to give. It's not going to help Manchester United challenging for the title. But go and check that out. Love and light, people. Take care. Win, lose, draw, Glazers out, Bankers out. Peace.